I am pleased to introduce our guest for today, which is Dr. Crane, Vice President of Strategic Initiatives, and Ann Bacon. Director of Strategic Planning and Policy. So just to get us warmed up, what I'd like to do is ask that all of you please do a quick round robin of introducing yourself. I want to have your name, please, your college, and what is the favorite part of your job? And you have like about 45 seconds. So this is your little elevator speech to do this. And when you do that, can you please turn on your camera so we get to see your happy faces? Okay, I'm going to just go right here. I see here Leadership Academy. And I know we have a big group there.
Sorry about that, Gilda. This is JW and the Student Services.
Okay, you're over there. Okay. All right. Jessica, we'll start with you.
Hey, I'm Jessica Honeycutt. I'm the new Dean of Transitional Studies and High School Partnerships at Haywood Community College. My favorite part of my job is that I don't sit in my office all day. I go out because I'm over CCP, Early College Career Coaches, and CCR. So I am constantly at different places, different high schools, different buildings. So I do like that part of my job.
Thank you, Jessica. Susan.
Hey there, I'm Susan Burleson. I'm the Executive Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs at Davidson-Davie Community College. And my favorite part of my job is that every day is different.
Yeah. Jairo.
Yes, my name is Jairo McMeekin. My pronouns are he, we, him, and his. I currently serve in a dual capacity where I serve 50% as the Dean of Student Learning at Central Carolina Community College in Sanford. And then I also work 50% for the North Carolina Student Success Center as the Director of Equity and Pathways. My favorite part of my job is probably problem solving and just working with others, trying to figure out, how I can help people. I found most of my success when I help other people find theirs.
Great. LaShonda.
Good morning, everyone. I am the Director of College and Career Readiness at Edgecombe Community College. I'm happy to be a part of these sessions. And what I enjoy most is see students either move on to post-secondary education or join the workforce or both.
Great. And then we have somebody who's called Go Figure.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That's my laptop name. My name is Kelly Hembry, and I'm the Director of Student Services at Tri-County Community College. My favorite part about my job is just working with the students and figuring out what their career paths are and what they'd like to do with post-secondary plans.
Thank you. Kimberly.
Hi, everyone. Kimberly Gregory, Director of College and Career Readiness at College of the Albemarle. I think the favorite part of my job is celebrating student successes, and we celebrate every success. It doesn't matter how small.
Great. And I have Jonathan.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan Loss. I'm the Dean of Academics and Educational Opportunities at Catawba Valley Community College in Hickory, North Carolina. And favorite part of my job is working with people and solving problems.
Great. Jennifer.
Hey, I'm Jennifer Purdue. I'm the Director of College and Career Readiness and HRD at Surrey Community College. And my favorite part is to help students succeed.
Okay. I see Cindy.
Good morning. I'm Cindy Davis. I'm the relatively new Vice President of Academic Affairs at Western Piedmont Community College. I haven't quite been here 3 months. So far, my favorite part is getting to know my new college and community, but just overall, just the potential of what we can all do together as a group when we put our heads together.
Okay, thank you. Kurt.
Good morning, Kurt Miller, Department Chair of Workforce Development at Wilkes Community College in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. Favorite part of my job is working with students, and particularly in the skilled trade area, to help find a new career or potentially assist them in upskilling to receive pay raises and things of that nature in their job. Love to see that.
Thank you. Marvin.
Good morning. I'm Marvin Rondon. I'm the acting dean of student services for Samson Community College since January, but I also serve as the dean of academic services, institutional effectiveness, college liaison with the early college, scheduler. The good thing of this work is I wear many hats, but no day is equal. Every day is something different.
Okay. Christy.
Hey, good morning. I'm Christy Short. I'm Vice President and Chief Academic Officer at Central Carolina Community College, where I have the pleasure of working with Hiram McMeekin. And the favorite thing about my job is supporting my folks and helping them get what they need so that we can make a difference in students' lives.
Great. I have Stanley.
Good morning. I'm Shannon Stanley. I'm with Forsyth Tech Community College in Winston. My favorite part about my job is watching students transform. So they come in really a lot of times dejected and just low self-esteem. I love motivating them and watching them transform and their dreams come true, and moving on to like post-secondary education and that kind of thing. I love watching that. I never get tired of watching that.
Okay. And Paul?
Good morning. This is Paul Worley. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer for Tri-County Community College, and I'm listening to everybody's what they love about. How could you not love our job? I mean, you know, what part is bad about it? So, I mean, we just have a great job of getting to work with, you know, everything new that comes in and helping students reach their dreams. I mean, what's the negative side of it?
Great, thank you. Jasmine.
Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Jasmine Spain. I serve as the Assistant Vice President of Student Support at Pitt Community College, located in Greenville, North Carolina. I've been employed with PCC for about 10 years now. No, 11, actually. And what I enjoy mostly about my institution is being able to challenge the answers that are being provided, you know, to question and challenge how can we do better. Especially working with our underrepresented or historically marginalized groups, and really pushing the agenda, especially for minority male achievement.
Okay, thank you. And then I have Jennifer. And everybody keeps changing here. Kimberly.
Hello.
So the pictures are changing on me. So Jennifer, I have Jennifer yelled. We haven't heard from you.
Oh, hi. I am the new CCR director at Haywood Community College.
Thank you. So is there anybody that we haven't done? I see Jessica. Have we had you introduce yourself?
Yes.
Okay. The pictures keep changing here. If you haven't had a chance to introduce yourselves, I know the system office team have not, but if you haven't had a chance to introduce yourself, please open up your camera and introduce yourself.
I'm Justin Tillman. I'm the Dean of Workforce Development and Public Safety. And I was a little late because, of course, when you plan for something is when the vice president wants to talk to you. So,
yeah. Right. And then we have some system office folks on the team here. Can you please introduce yourself? Karen?
Hi, I'm Karen Tikkanen. I'm State Director of Workforce Continuing Ed, and I also serve as the liaison between DPS for captive education, and I'm sitting in for Nate Humphreys today.
Thank you, Karen. And Lisa?
Good morning. I'm Lisa Eads, Associate Vice President of Programs at the System Office, serving curriculum and Perkins.
Thanks. And I think JW?
Hello, everyone. My name is J.W. Kelly, and I serve as the Associate Vice President for Student Services, and I'm here today with the Student Services Leadership Academy.
Great. So today's theme, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Today's theme is strategic planning, strategic plans, and we have, as I mentioned, we have Dr. Crane and Ann Bacon on to give you all the information you need to know about our strategic plan and the planning. I'm going to turn it over to that team.
Great, thank you, Gilda. Appreciate everybody spending some time introducing themselves. Again, I'm Patrick Crane. I'm the Vice President of Strategic Initiatives here at the system office. I also like working with HIRO, and not just HIRO. There's a great team here, folks who are really mission driven at the system office as well. So this will be a partially interactive session. So we'll start with an overview of what our plan currently is, and a bit about that. And then we want your input on what our next plan should look like. And Ann Bacon will walk through a couple slides with you. So I will get my screen up and running here. Okay, everybody seeing the first slide? Great. All right. So we've already, done the introductions. The one other, excuse me, thing that I will say in terms of overview here is we'll talk about the current plan, work underway on the next plan, and then, as I mentioned earlier, we'll ask for your feedback. So I'm joined today by Ann Bacon. She's the Director of Strategic Planning and Policy, has worked on several plans at the system office. And just to get things started, we won't ask you to put all of your names in the chat since we've just gone through introductions. But if you could put in the chat what's your knowledge level of the current strategic plan is, whether it is 0, literally have no idea that we have a system strategic plan, through 5, you actually helped develop it yourselves, just so that we have a sense of what the overall knowledge level is in the room today about the system level strategic plan. If you are not familiar with it, you can find it through this link here, and it runs 2018 to 2022 and is focused on putting education to work. And it's got 4 main components. The first is student interest and access, and that includes increasing the percentage of North Carolinians, particularly in underserved populations, who are easily able to access and complete education and training across the state. It's also focused on clear and supported pathways for student progress and success, things like guided pathways, things like developmental education, lots of reform work that I'm sure many of you have participated in this area. The third component is focused on economic and workforce impact, working with business partners, career and technical education, and a wide variety of activities in that space. And then the fourth component is system effectiveness. How can we be effective as an organization at the system office to support all of your organizations across the state? Also want to point out that this is in fact a living plan, that it is not intended to be static for a 4-year period. And especially as a result of the pandemic, our state board realized that nobody had planned for that, and that there were things that needed to be added to the plan to be responsive to the dramatic changes that we'd all experienced to our environment. And one example here is to focus explicitly on expanding broadband access at North Carolina community colleges. That in turn turned into, I think, $12 million invested to expand rural broadband. and another $3+ million focused on training for online education, professional development for faculty, and other innovations. Again, trying to use this plan as a framework for investment and also to respond to the changing environment. A couple other modifications that were made to the plan. The importance of flexible learning and online learning, of course, accelerated rapidly around March of last year. A proactive support for students of color, especially in the wake of George Floyd's murder and all of the discussions around race and ethnicity that took place in the aftermath of that. Small business counseling, workforce pipeline, and broadband access at North Carolina community colleges, all new things that were added as part of the plan for new areas of emphasis. So let me turn it over to Anne to go into more detail about how we actually track the different components of the plan using these using tactics.
Thank you, Patrick. And bear with me. As you may have heard, I'm having trouble with my video, so I'm on 2 devices at once. Let me know if that is problematic. I do want to be able to say hello to you all and you all to, while we have this opportunity to make a connection. Strategic plan tactics, they are about really the accountability and the action part of the plan. They measure more immediate progress. We do have some key performance indicators, many of which are composed of the statewide performance measures that you all are well aware of, as well as some other metrics that we felt we needed to capture all of the plan. But we have had a total of 35 tactics defined so far. A good number of those, probably at least 10 or 15 of those, have already been implemented and have achieved what they needed to achieve. And we continue to follow these through the end of the plan. So even as we get started in planning, we are trying to push through with our current plan. And if you don't have a version of the modified plan, we can, through JW, get that to you after this. And I will say one of the things that is important for these tactics is it is how the state board ensures that we are acting on our plan, and we do review that progress quarterly with them. I just wanted to give you a few examples under the goals of the types of actions that we have taken or the types of priorities we've had in recent years. One is marketing has been a major focus. First with Your Hire, HIRE education. And I know that we work closely with the PIOs at the colleges to implement that. As well, we had some statewide efforts and had a toolkit that the colleges could use. Other examples are career coach implementation, which really grew up in the span of this last planning cycle. Online learning innovation, and we do have a new staff person. I may get the title wrong. It may be something as simple as Director of Online Learning, but there was a recognition with the pandemic that we had to really be more proactive here at the system office to support colleges. Obviously, throughout the pandemic, the colleges really took the lead in making the changes that were needed, whether that was hybrid learning or whatever made sense for the campuses. Not listed, there are a number of other student interest and access tactics, from outreach to the Hispanic Latino population, as well as work on RDS. Certainly we follow the law, but where we have had the opportunity to make the process less cumbersome for students, we have tried to support that. So on to goal 2. So again, these are just a few examples, but to give you a sense, when we say clear and supportive pathways for student progress and success, that does include the guided pathway work. It includes advising and student services redesign, the leadership academies such as I believe what JW and team are sitting together, or that kind of support of leaders throughout the community colleges. That's been part of our plan to better support the colleges. Articulation of credit and alignment of pathways. You probably can't see this graphic, but those of you whose work this is know this all too well, which courses lead into which courses, and really mapping out those pathways. It's not easy work, but it's so critical, both within the college and then for our transfer kinds of initiatives. Finish First and See. Matt Meyer could correct me, but I think we're up to 53 of our colleges using Finish First to identify individuals who either have already achieved a credential and didn't know it or are close. And that's been part of some colleges' outreach efforts and engagement efforts. Certainly the Minority Male Success Initiative, we're already starting to see some positive data around that in terms of reducing opportunity gaps. And so it's not easy work, and we have a lot farther to go on that. I do believe much of this work will continue in some form in our next plan. Certainly, we are going to continue to support, how we close those opportunity gaps. So there's much more in this area, but we'll go on to goal 3. So some of the areas that have been impactful or have had a lot of energy around, I just wanted to mention apprenticeship expansion. I think apprenticeship came over to the community college system. I'm trying to remember my history. It was about 2017. And this strategic plan cycle started in 2018. We saw tremendous expansion in apprenticeship over that plan cycle. And that was one of our strategic focus areas. And it continues to be expanded. There's continued work in terms of reaching to other industries, particularly now there's a lot more work with youth apprenticeship and making sure that apprenticeship opportunities are being extended and supported for our students of color. So that work is continuing. Proactive industry engagement takes many different forms. One is in the area of sector partnership development. We work with Commerce and other statewide partners, EDPNC, Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, and directly with industry associations through a group that we have started convening in recent years to understand where industry associations, where there is consensus within industries for what they need in workforce. And that has already spun out some initiatives such as in I think Duke Power and some of the other power industry partners. That's one example. NC Workforce Credentials with short-term workforce training leading to credentials as part of our effort to be supportive of the My Future NC statewide goal of 2 million North Carolinians with some kind of post-secondary goal, post-secondary credential by 2030. There's been a lot of work on that, and that is about to be made, I think, a little more high level in the beginning of 2022. So there's plenty of other work in this area. I did just want to give you some flavor. And finally, system effectiveness. this is our goal that has kind of everything that we do to support the work of the colleges, the system office. So it's everything from thinking about how can we support regional collaboration better? How can we do the hard IT work and help colleges proactively avoid cyber security attacks, cyber incidents, and then obviously we've unfortunately had to be in the place of helping colleges recover. But that is a major priority for us. Obviously, pandemic and emergency response has been a major priority at the system office. That is often looking at funding streams and trying to be proactive about opportunities and using that funding in strategic ways. Again, the colleges really showed us innovation in very quick form. And some of what we are hoping to do is learn from the colleges and what you all have been able to achieve so that we can share it with others. Data dashboards, Bill and Ashley and team have been crazy busy in recent years. I think we're up to 60, 70 dashboards. I'm not even sure. So if you have not already availed yourself of the rich array of data and graphics that is on the website, that is there for your use. So that really just gives you a sense, and I'm going to turn it back to you, Patrick.
Great, thanks, Anne. So, I mean, I want to note right off the bat that we are not building a new strategic plan, starting from nothing. I think there's been a lot of work done. It's currently happening with the current strategic plan. There's a ton of amazing work happening across the grade 58 colleges in all of these areas. And so, what we're trying to do now with this plan is learn a bit more about what are the big challenges facing all of you now? What are the ways that you are solving those challenges in your regions and communities? And what can we better do as a system office and a state board to support you and to support students across the state? And so the state board launched the planning process in September of this year at their planning retreat, and spent about 2 days hearing from some folks in the system office and some outside experts about some of the challenges facing the state. And we collected some information from them about where they are trying to sort of chart a vision forward. We're also now in a phase where we're collecting feedback and engaging with community colleges and community college customers across the state. So we're currently organizing 8 regional listening sessions with presidents and trustees and some key leadership staff. We're meeting with groups like yours to hear different perspectives across the community college associations, and we'll be doing outreach to students and businesses. We'll then put together some planning teams with a mix of system office and community college staff to kind of analyze and filter this information to figure out what to build into the next plan and how we can use that to chart our course for the next 4 years. Our goal is to have that plan approved by the state board at their May board meeting. Could shift a bit, but that's what we're shooting for. You can see the timeline here where we're in the collecting input, doing research stage, and we'll be shifting into the building and convening, then reviewing the plan, drafting, and then putting it out there for everyone across the system. Key stakeholders, of course, students first, but also businesses as key customers for community colleges, as well as just communities around the state. We know that community colleges are incredibly important anchor institutions for regional economies. You partner with K-12, you partner with Health and Human Services, and really sit at the intersection of a lot of important ways that communities are sustained across the state. 58 community colleges, of course, including the presidents, trustees, faculty, staff, associations, system office staff who try and support you and your institutions and your work, state leaders, and then other partners across the state. If you've heard President Stith speak, you've probably heard him articulate these 3 pillars, but these have really been guiding his work since he became the system president in January. The North Carolina community colleges will serve as the first choice in North Carolina for accessible and affordable education. The community college will lead North Carolina's economic recovery and sustained growth and become a national model for diversity and inclusion. I think we understand and acknowledge that part of the work going on now in the system office and where we're looking for input is what does this look like? So it's one thing to have these as goal statements, but if we were to achieve these goals, what would our system look like and how can we get there together? And with that, if you want to reach out to Ann or I at any point, here are email addresses. And with this, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and turn it over to Ann, who will be collecting some input from all of you. If I can figure out how to stop sharing the screen. Great. Thank you, whoever helped me out with that.
Great, great. And if you can look in your chat, what you will see is actually 2 links. One is to a SWOT analysis and another is to a visioning exercise. If you can click now on the SWOT analysis, that would be great. Actually, so what we're going to do is we are going to take advantage of the fact that we have you here with us today, and we are going to ask you your thoughts as we go into this planning. So thank you in advance. It does occur to me, JW asked if this session could be recorded, and I did not answer him yesterday, I realized. I am thinking we will be recording your thoughts, but for the discussion, JW, do you have an ability to stop the recording of the audio?
Yes, we can stop the recording at whatever time you want.
Okay, why don't we go ahead and do it now? So I enjoy, so while we will be talking a little bit about all of these, we'll be capturing what you wish to put down in writing, but I would